So I got a lot of ground to cover, but I'm not sure if my phone's gonna hold out for all of it. But I'm just gonna go ahead and say what I gotta say. Yeah. So there's gonna be a craft fair in November 6th. There's gonna be a craft fair here at the towers. I do plan on being a vendor, and I do plan on doing things. It might not be the same exact stuff as last year, because I don't think I'm going to be getting rid of a lot more DVDs and stuff, because last year I had like the DVDs I got rid of, and I had some other things I got rid of too. But I may just cut it down to to certain things. I may just cut it down to like a couple certain things, like the jewelry, my mom's handmade stuff, my art, and maybe that's about it. Maybe just a raffle too. But I'll have like the art boxes, but like $5 and such. But I'm really gonna, I don't know, it's just gonna be a little different this year. I think each year it has been different for me as far as the craft fair. Last year I did really well. This year we're not, we're hoping to still have it. We're just not, we're all just watching how people, interact with COVID, and how people are interacting, and how, making sure that people are okay, and, not getting into trouble and stuff. So that's what we're working on right now as far as the craft fair, And I won't be painting any more paintings, because if we're doing the craft fair, because I'm gonna try to spend a lot of my time trying to, get ready for this craft fair, and at some point in the next couple of months, and try to, get the stuff together so we can have this craft fair. Obviously my living room is going to be packeder than it is now. So, but yeah, sun's blaring in my face. So, I'm doing all right. The other thing I wanted to say too is that people think I'm so childish sometimes. They're like, "Oh, you're so childish. You're so immature. You're so this. You're so that." And some of that comes from the fact that I have a lot of I call them collectibles. People call them toys. I call them collectibles. It's all about the mindset. But for me, I collect these I collect the '90s, the 90s figurines, and I collect a lot of different figurines from like Doctor Who, and Star Wars and Pokemon and stuff like that. And I collect them for more monetary value. What I do is I don't really open a lot of my stuff. I collect a lot of my stuff for monetary value. So a lot of my stuff is for monetary value and stuff like that. So I'm not really collecting a bunch of toys and stuff where people are like, "Oh, you're collecting a bunch of toys to play with them, and you're so immature and you're so childish." I mean, there's a lot of people out there collecting toys for monetary value. A lot of people in the cosplay community that do so. So I know there's people out there for me, and I know. I mean, even though that situation didn't go well with the girl from New York, that was like one of the last people who actually came up, and it was a bunch of fuckery. Regardless, it was still a bunch of fuckery. I can't call it anything else. But I mean, she did come up, and she was accepting of my collectibles and stuff, and accepting of me. But she didn't think I was on her level, and I kind of still resent that. But because I really think she should have gave me a chance, and etc. But she was so unhappy. So, but yeah, I do have a lot of collectibles and stuff, and I know there's women out there that can look past the collectibles and look more at the heart and more at who you are. But it's not like I'm playing with toys. It's not like I'm still a 2-year-old and I still play with toys. And I mean, I used to play with toys up until the point I was probably like almost 17 or so. But I stopped playing with toys a while ago. So, I don't play with toys anymore. So, but yeah. But people still think I'm immature because I have all these collectibles, and I think it's some people think it's like child bait, Some people think it's child bait, and some people think I'm like a child molester or something, when I'm really not, It's just the factor that I'm a collector of, these figurines and stuff that I'm hoping that are going to be monetary value down the line. And that's the thing, you never know what's going to be monetary value and what's not, I mean, I'm probably sure a lot of the Pokemon plushes I got rid of are going to be monetary value, especially if they're in good condition in a smoke-free home. Because I had like 2 or 3 bins of Pokemon plushes I got rid of. I only kept some of them, but I had like at least 2 or 3 bins. So, and the other thing too I wanted to address is that, I almost had a date. Another date or another situation with this guy from, New Haven, and people just want to rush. People just want to rush very, very fast into relationships. They want to rush very, very fast into relationships. They don't want to get to know a person. They want to rush very, very fast into relationships. And then they act funny when you tell them, oh, you want to go slow, and then you find red flags, and you're like, no, I'm sorry, I got to break it off because you're posing a red flag, and this isn't going to work for me. But they look at you funny, like you're the problem. It's like people these days need to go slow. They need to take their time to get to know somebody. It's like, what if I was a serial killer or something, and you jumped in bed with me? I mean, that's never gonna, that's not right, Get to know somebody first. Get to know somebody for who they are, and get to know somebody first, before coming down for a date, But I'm glad I took things slow. I mean, obviously, people, are accepting and understanding my mental health, or, trying to see me for my mental health and see me for who I am despite my mental health is going to be a big, make it or break it deal breaker for a date. And one of the people that I was seeing and stuff too, which was that girl from New York. She was a mental health counselor and stuff like that. So, she gave me kind of hope that things were going to really work out, and it didn't. It really didn't. So, I just feel some type of way lately with my mental health and different things, and just my struggling, and how different dates and things will accept you or will not accept you, and you got to keep going forward. But yeah. I got like nasal drip going on right now. I just I gotta blow my nose, but I just wanted to get that off my chest though. People think it's oh, we're gonna just rush up here. We're gonna I think the guy really wanted to come up here and fuck. Pardon my language, but he wanted to come up here and fuck. He wasn't looking for long term. He wanted to play it cool and come up here and fuck, and then go his separate ways. But I mean, I told him to be open. If you're gonna want to just fuck, just tell me. Come up here, and there'll probably be a possibility you could come up here and fuck. You don't have to tell me you don't want to fuck or nothing. It's like, but people are weird. People are weird, and etc. And the thing is too, I wanted to go do bottles this morning, but since the temperature is gonna get so hot and stuff, I'm not able to go do bottles, and my allergies are already starting to act up in here. I woke up this morning almost choking. I was almost choking with the humidity or something. I was, it's not a good morning for, allergies and people with asthma and allergies and stuff. I'm running my AC, but my AC I think has some mold or some dust problems, but it's really just kind of trying to just stay indoors. I mean, I might have to ask my mom's friend Rose just to go cash bottles because I'm not going to have the ability to go do certain things right now because of the heat. I actually got to call and check on my mom because my mom's going to be indoors and she's going to be dying. She's going to be dying, So, yeah, she needs to know that it's going to be a really hot one today. So, I hope she goes out and goes somewhere and is okay. But, yeah. Hope all is well. Hope everything's going good. And, yeah, I just want to get those things off my chest. People rush up here. People have a tendency to rush. And, I almost had another date with a guy, and the guy rushed. And, he didn't take the time to talk about things and try to see if there was any red flags or if this is going to work out or this is not going to work out. So, but those are just some thoughts on my mind. I'm going to just get going to have, the morning, blow my nose, have some coffee, do what I need to do. The sun's shining, which is always a pleasant thing in the morning, have the sunshine, but I'm just not sure what to do with my day. I wanted to get out and go cash in bottles and get out of the house for a few minutes, but now that it's going to be hot and humid, I'm going to definitely be staying indoors. I'm not even going to be able to walk around the building or nothing and get exercise. You know, this climate change stuff with the heat and stuff is so bad that I can't even go out and get myself the exercise I need this summer to start losing weight and for my benefit of my health. I have a feeling by the winter time, this winter, I'm going to be diabetic because I'm going to gain so much weight over the winter that I'm going to be past my diabetic mark, and I'm going to probably be diabetic. So, but it is what it is, I guess, for now.